What's up, guys? I know a lot has happened in the past few days. We had Sean Strickland beat Hamzat Chimaev. We had that whole fight week happen with the weight miss and the controversy, the press conference. We had so many things happen. We had Joshua Van beating Tatsuro Taira, proving he wasn't the paper champion. We had fighters show up at the White House. But there's really one thing I've been focused on ever since earlier this week, and that's Ilia Topuria and Josh Hockett's beef at their press conference. And that got me wondering. And I'm going to tell you guys what my thoughts are on Ilia Topuria versus the heavyweight division. And let me give you a hint. He does pretty good. So without further ado, let's look at how Ilia Topuria stacks up against the blobs of the heavyweight division. We're going to go from number 15 to the champion. So starting off at number 15, we have Brando Pericic. This is an easy round 1 KO for Ilia Topuria. He's only beaten blobs. His best win is Shamil Gaziev. And by the way, in that fight, he hit Shamil with his best shots in round 1 and couldn't KO Shamil until Shamil was completely gassed in that second round. Plus, it was a war in that first round. A war can't be a one-sided beatdown. That's a beatdown. It was a war because Shamil was landing back big on Brando Pericic. And let me tell you something. Those same shots Shamil was landing on Brando, if Ilia hits him with those, kid's going out cold. Ilia has not just big power, not just lighter man speed, he also has lighter man skill. He'll be able to slip, dip, and rip. Body shot, body shot. Even his leg kicks will hurt. Ilia has the leg kicks of a heavyweight with the skill and speed of a featherweight. The kid is putting Brando Pericic out cold. Give me Ilia by a round 1 KO. Now, we have Taliesin Teixeira. This one, I was tempted to say a round 1 KO too. However, Taliesin Teixeira, I'm pretty sure he's like 6'7" or something like that. He's tall. So, it would be a little hard for Ilia to get that signature KO. However, he was KO'd by Derek Lewis, so I know it's possible for Ilia to KO him. And I know Derek Lewis hits hard, but he doesn't have that precision, that timing, anything that Ilia Topuria has. So if Derek Lewis can KO him, I know it's possible for Ilia to if he hits that chin right. Plus, he had a close fight with Tai Tuivasa. He was gassed out after the first round, and it was a blob war, not the entertaining type of war, but a back and forth of nothing happening except blobbing and gassing out. If he does that with Ilia Topuria in that second round, in that third round, especially over a 5-round fight, Ilia is going to touch that chin at least once. And a gassed out Taliesin Teixeira, hit by the precise skill and speed of lightweight, featherweight skill, Ilia Topuria, kid puts him out cold too. Give me Ilia Topuria by a late rounds KO, maybe a TKO. He did get up after that Derek Lewis knockdown. However, he was grabbing the fence. Give me an Ilia Topuria late rounds KO. Now we have Walter Walker. Walter Walker has been on an amazing generational run recently with all those leg locks. However, those work on blobs because blobs don't know how to defend against jiu-jitsu. Walter Walker is good at jiu-jitsu and at heavyweight. That's enough to get you signature heel hook wins. Do whatever you want against these blobs. Use them as grappling dummies. Ilia Topuria is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. The first black belt in jiu-jitsu from Georgia as well. Greco-Roman background. He probably outgrapples Walter Walker if he wants to. Takes him down. Plays with the kid on the ground. Give me an Ilia Topuria round 2 KO. Lost to Lucas Brzeski. You know how bad that is. I know it was his debut. He's probably just getting off the regional scene sauce too. But that's not a good look. Ilia Topuria would clean Lucas Brzeski's head cold off his chin on a day's notice. And he's only beaten blobs and refuses to get a step up in competition. He said he wants to keep fighting blobs because if he steps up, he'll lose. That's not the mindset you want against Ilia Topuria. Give me Ilia Topuria by a round 2 KO. Maybe Walter has some success in that first round, but I think Ilia plays with him for a round and KOs him in the second. Now we have Marcin Tybura. I was a little torn on this one because you see that Tybura grin? That kind of matches the Ilia Topuria big, cocky, smug grin that gets under all his opponent's skin. But I think Ilia Topuria big grin mogs him, and that will rock the confidence of Marcin Tybura. He has plotty footwork and KO'd easily by Ante Delija. Plus, with his confidence gone, he didn't have confidence in that Delija fight. So, with no confidence after being big grin mogged by Ilia Topuria, give me Ilia Topuria by a first round KO. And I think pretty easily too. They'll stand there, big grinning at each other. Tybura will think this is a normal heavyweight smile at range jab fest, and then get his chin cleaned off by Ilia. Give me Ilia round 1 KO. Tyrell Fortune. Now, he had a close fight with Tybura, but in round 3 is really how it became a close fight because he's beaten Tybura pretty clearly in those first 2 rounds, but in round 3. He was getting tagged up by a plotty man, Tybura. Give me Ilia Topuria by a round 1 KO. You're tired in front of Ilia, getting tagged up by Tybura with no KO power. Ilia Topuria, jab, jab, 2, hook, hook, put you out cold. Body shots, if necessary, to set up those hooks up top, ground and pound, puts him out cold if he isn't already. Give me Ilia Topuria, round 3 KO. Don't need to say any more on this. Ante Delija. Again, a Ilia Topuria round 1 KO. KO'd by a blind Waldo Cortez Acosta. And I know Waldo is actually a good heavyweight, but he was blind in that fight from an eye poke. If you're telling me no depth perception Waldo can KO him, imagine what Ilia would do to the kid. He ran right into, I believe it was a hook or a straight right. Ilia, you can't run into his right hook. You can't run into his straight shots. That's what rocked Max Holloway. Give me an Ilia Topuria round 1 KO. A hook right over the top, spins his chin straight off his head while he's charging in. That's all Delija knows how to do. And if you need any more proof, went to war with and lost to Sergey Spivak. That's embarrassing. Give me Ilia Topuria round 1 KO. Derek Lewis. Now, I think this will be a round 2 KO by Ilia because he will actually have to be safe in this fight. It's going to be like the Josh Emmett fight. Josh Emmett had big power, big danger, so Ilia didn't want to just rush in. However, no matter how bad you think Josh Emmett is, he's still a featherweight with featherweight skill, featherweight speed, featherweight cardio. Derek Lewis, after a round with Ilia, all that twitching, all that feinting, he will be gassed out. And it might just look like the Waldo fight where he quit to a jab, and he's old now. So give me an Ilia Topuria round 2. I say KO, but it may be a TKO due to exhaustion. Ilia may hit him with a good shot, and he may fall down, bend the knee like he did to Tai Tuivasa. So give me an Ilia Topuria round 2 KO. Rizvan Kuniev. Rizvan Kuniev is actually a good heavyweight, in my opinion. Went to war on the feet with Almeida. That's a little concerning. Almeida isn't known for his striking. Rizvan Kuniev was able to keep it on the feet, but even then, at range, he wasn't really piecing up Almeida too good. He was good in the clinch. That's where he won the fight. But he did show a decent chin because Almeida doesn't have pillow fist. So he showed a decent chin. He showed decent skill. Give me an Ilia Topuria, 30-27. He didn't show enough finishing potential for me to think that he'll finish Ilia Topuria. He couldn't finish Curtis Blades. He couldn't finish Almeida on the feet. Give me an Ilia Topuria 30-27. He'll outskill him. Lighter man skill, lighter man speed. Plus, he has the power to keep Kuniev on guard. Give me an Ilia Topuria 30-27 decision. Maybe a late rounds TKO. He was tired in that third round with Almeida, but I'll get a 30-27 there. Now, Curtis Blades, round 1 Ilia KO. This could be a Curtis Blades blob fest, though. I will say, I'll give Curtis Blades that chance. However, dropped and rocked by round 1 Hockett. If Hockett can drop you, Ilia can KO you. And Curtis Blades plays on the feet way too much against heavy hitters. He'll try to prove a point against Ilia. He'll see him as a smaller guy, try to prove a point, stand on the feet, and get KO'd. Plus, his plotty footwork, his lack of good head movement against Hockett, he was moving his head, but it was the same repetitive pattern. It wasn't adapting. Hockett was able to adapt to it and tag him up. Give me an Ilia Topuria round 1 KO. And speaking of Josh Hockett, Sergey Spivak, I thought that was going to be Josh Hockett. Sergey Spivak, give me a round 2 Ilia KO. Spivak can scrap. He's shown an okay, decent chin. He's not defensively sound, though, and he couldn't take down Gane. I think he could clinch up Ilia a little bit against the cage, buy some time, stall it out, maybe survive a little bit, but he's just delaying the inevitable. Give me my GOAT, Ilia Topuria, El Matador by round 2 KO. This video is not glazed, by the way. This is all complete and total truth. Trust me on that. All right, now Josh Hockett. Round 1 Ilia KO'd. No, not KO'd. Round 1 Ilia KO. Rocked by Curtis Blades. I know Curtis Blades isn't exactly pillow-fisted, but he was rocked and nearly TKO'd by Curtis Blades in round 1 after gassing. Tagged up by a jab, a Curtis Blades plotty man jab. Imagine what that quick dip and rip Ilia Topuria jab would do. He would dip low, uppercut, left hook, uppercut, left hook, jab, 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 2. He would put Josh Hockett out cold. He would make Josh Hockett look silly out there. Josh Hockett wouldn't know what dimension he was in. He'd be getting hit by shots that he didn't know existed at the heavyweight division. Ilia Topuria, round 1 KO. Matter of fact, if that fight ever happened, I'm putting $500 on Ilia Topuria by a first round KO. And this is not at weight parity or anything. This is Ilia Topuria right now at that press conference. If they fought the next day, give me round 1 Ilia Topuria KO. Waldo Cortez Acosta. Now, Waldo actually does have a great chin. I know he got rocked by Volkov. However, I think that was a fake rock Same how he did. I think in his fight against Spivak, he faked being rocked to try to bait them in. He has a very good chin. Gets hit by jump bombs by Sergey Pavlovich. Just ate them. Everyone he fights can't drop him, can't hurt him. But Ilia Topuria is just too good. And Waldo does wait around a lot for his counters. If you're waiting around for Ilia Topuria to be open to counters, that's going to be a long night of waiting for you. Ilia Topuria will just tag him up while Waldo just doesn't do enough. And he's open to leg kicks. You don't want to be open to leg kicks against Ilia Topuria, one of the best leg kickers in the game. Give me an Ilia 30-27. Maybe a 29-28, but 30-27. Sergey Pavlovich, give me an Ilia round 1 KO. Speed mogged by Aspinall. You get speed mogged by Aspinall, and that's your whole thing is your speed and your power. Imagine what Ilia would do to you. He went to a decision with Rosenstrike as well. This is the current Pavlovich we're talking about. So he's not as dangerous as he used to be. I don't think Ilia will have to worry about the danger factor. Plus, he's gun shy. He won't throw as much. He'll be waiting, especially after he feels that Ilia Topuria power. He'll be getting flashbacks of that Aspinall fight. Give me an Ilia Topuria round 1 KO after Pavlovich freezes up out of PTSD. Now, we have the first Ilia Topuria loss. Volkov 29-28. He uses his length well. He's 6'7". I don't think Ilia can reach his chin. Volkov hasn't shown to be weak to the body. He probably has a pretty strong body with his frame. But he did get tagged up by Waldo in round 3. But again, I don't know if Ilia Topuria will be able to reach his chin. And those body shots, while it may win him that 3rd round, I don't know if it'll be enough to KO Volkov, and I wouldn't bet on it. So give me a Volkov 29-28. Cyril Gane, 49-46 Cyril Gane. He's one of the rare skilled heavyweights. He has good footwork, but he doesn't have a big danger factor. So I think Ilia could steal around and not get finished and do pretty okay on the feet. But Cyril Gane would 49-46 him. He's pretty good. He has a good jab, plus his length, plus his reach, good leg kicks, good defense. He did get dropped by Taito Ivasa. Another reason I'll give Ilia a chance to win a round. But I just think Gane would be too much for him. The kid would just be too big for him, too much, be all over him all night. Give me a Gane 49-46. And Tom Aspinall, round 2 KO. He has fast hands with good power. He's decently skilled, good grappling, no holes in his game, and he's not a blob. This whole video has been showing that Ilia Topuria can KO all these fat blobs. However, Tom Aspinall is not a blob. He's actually an in-shape heavyweight with good skills. Plus, he has residual lighter man skill. Aspinall used to be a small guy when he started fighting, and then he just grew like a weed when he got older. So he grew up with lighter man skill, so that's still residually in him. So give me an Aspinall round 2 KO. Ilia can keep him off for the 1st round with that lighter man skill, but it'll just be too much for him. And that was it. So as you see, Ilia Topuria would probably run through most of the heavyweight division, become a top 5 contender, but those top 3 guys I think would be too much for him. All right, guys, remember, like and subscribe, and remember to share this video with your friends, with your family, with your local UFC regional scene heavyweights so they know. Get with that lighter man skill program. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Peace.